some of you may know that if you're working with a worksheet that perhaps you've never seen and you're trying to get your bearings a little bit, it would be real handy to highlight just the cells that have formulas. Now, in prior versions of Excel, before Excel 2007, this would take about 6 or 7 clicks. Fortunately, in Excel 2007, you can click on the Home tab, and the rightmost button, it's in the editing group, has binoculars on it. Click it once, and there's a choice called Formulas, and it highlights the cells that have formulas. You might also say, well, whenever I do that, I like to mark the cells, make them yellow, or give them a color background, something else possibly. When that happens, here's a drop arrow here on the Home tab for Fill Color. It's in the font group. You can click this and say, well, every time I use this, I want to make these cells blue. That's my way of highlighting the cells that have formulas. Now, that's not too many clicks, really, when you think about it. I'm going to press Control-Z to undo. So what did we do here? The active cell was anywhere on a single cell in the worksheet. On the Home tab, we pressed binoculars. That's one click. Then we pressed formulas. That's a second click. We click the drop arrow here for font color. That's a third click. We pick a color, whatever it might be, and we're done. So 4 or 5 clicks here. And again, if that annoys you, and you're the judge of this, if you're finding it burdensome to go through repetition, be thinking about a macro. Now, in its simplest form, and as you're getting started with macros, the concept of how we create a macro is to say, I want to record the actions that I'm taking frequently. In other words, if I go through this 5-step process often, I know them pretty well. Perhaps I've written them down, perhaps I haven't, probably haven't after you know them pretty well. But then if you want to essentially create a macro, you say, in effect, I'm going to turn on something called a macro recorder to record these steps. And when I'm done, I will have either a keystroke shortcut and or possibly a new button in the Quick Access toolbar or some way to activate the process to make things happen almost instantly. What if we could jump to any worksheet, particularly ones that we're not too familiar with, some accounting type worksheets, click a button and instantly highlight all the cells in a certain color of those cells that have formulas. Pretty fast. There's a companion to this that wouldn't be so fast, but it too could be something that you might record. A companion to this might be, and you can imagine its usefulness too if you work with a lot of numerically loaded worksheets, highlight just the cells that have pure values in them. For example, that's a 66. It's not a formula. This is a .34. Different formatting. It's not a formula either. Suppose you wanted to highlight just the cells that have pure numbers, not the ones with text, but just the number ones. How do we get to here? We start with the same concept, but this is going to be a lot more clicks, not about twice as many. How do we get there? On the Home tab, click the Binoculars button, click Go to Special, believe it or not, and then this dialog box comes up. You would choose Constants, and then uncheck boxes for text, logicals, and errors. Click OK, and then, if you wish, apply a color, maybe a contrasting color, like yellow or something.